Yo, what is good, Jets Nation, and everybody tuning in tonight on Monday night? This is Richie, and I got my boys Ali and Jack, and we will be talking about everything to do with the New York Jets. We have officially won our first game of the season, and it is a very emotional ride for Jets fans. Jets fans are all over the place. Jets fans are divided. Jets fans are feeling like crazy right now because we just won a game, and we cannot be happy about it. Isn't that crazy? We could be happy, but at the same time, we shouldn't be happy. So it's a lot that we can get into tonight. We got a lot of content, and we're going to be answering questions from you guys. We're going to be talking about debatable topics about the Jets because, again, a lot of Jets fans have different perspectives. So, again, if you guys disagree with anything that we all say, that is totally okay. We are all entitled to our own opinions. We're just here to voice ours. So, with that being said, let's go around the table. And Ali, you want to introduce yourself and say what up?
What's up, guys? My name is Ali from Loyal and my Jet fans. Let's talk some Jets.
Let's talk some Jets is right. Jack, how about you, man?
What's up, everybody? You can follow me on Twitter at Jack_NYJets. And yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we all know what happened yesterday. The Jets defeated the Rams with a final score of 23-20. So we're going to recap this game because what a game. Going into this one, nobody expected the Jets to come out on top. Nobody did, including myself and Ali and Jack, and probably the entire Jets fan base. I don't think anybody was going into this game thinking that we have any shot after going against the Seahawks last week, and we got absolutely obliterated. So this game was pretty interesting because we were playing good football from start to finish. I was just waiting for the Jets to fall apart in the second half or waiting for them to do something wrong, and they just didn't do it. I was waiting for it to happen. If you guys watched my live stream, which, by the way, thank you guys so much for all the love on that stream because you guys absolutely killed it. I peaked at around like 1,400 people. So everybody that was in that stream, thank you guys so much. Appreciate that a ton. But listen, I was expecting the Jets to do something bad eventually to blow the game, and I was wrong. The Jets players looked like they had heart and they wanted to win that game really bad. They did not want to be part of the 0-16 team that will go down as one of the worst teams in history. And my perspective of it is the players have every single right to be happy, and they have every single right to be fighting for a win. And the fans deserve to be upset as well because the fans want the first pick and want the generational quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. It's like a weird situation we're all in. And here we are, that the Jets are now officially at the second overall pick. But going into the game, Ali, what stood out to you from this Jets-Rams game the most?
I mean, I told you so. I told you so that Trevor Lawrence was not. We're not locked at number one.
I was there with you.
I told everyone. Every week I put an alert on my Instagram page saying, "Do not fall in love with him." That's why I did not watch highlights of him. That's why I did not do anything to be like, "Oh, this is the guy," and I'm so excited. I did not do any of that, and that's why maybe I'm being more fun with this win than other people are right now, because I lost a lot of followers. I don't know about you guys, but I lost a lot of followers yesterday after that win. Like, I lost followers for a win, so like that tells you a lot about how the Jets fan base is feeling right now. But I was really surprised on how McVay approached this game. I mean, it was a mental collapse by him, and he's supposed to be this genius. He's supposed to be this mastermind. But it didn't even look like he was a mastermind. I mean, to win the game, he had a perfect shot, and on fourth down, he took a shot down the field. I mean, that's idiotic. I mean, you need 4 yards to get a first down, and then you pretty much run out the clock and win the game. That's really what you have to do. I think they just handed the Jets the win. I think they're the team that were tanking for this game, honestly, because that defense did not look like the best defense in the league. They were coming in this game as the best defense in the league, and Sam Darnold, Adam Gase were driving down the ball on the field. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I didn't know what I was watching. I knew the Jets were going to win some type of game this year. I hate going 0-16. I hated that. And finally, at least we're not on that part of history of at least getting one win. But, just seeing that happen, and then right at the end of the season too, I mean, it might not be our last win. I think we're maybe even beat the Patriots, honestly. So it's going to be a hard one to swallow.
Yeah, I was right there with you, Ali. If you guys noticed on here on my channel, I did not make any video about Trevor Lawrence coming to the Jets. There's a lot of other Jets tubers that did so, but me personally, I did not because I knew that it was not 100% guaranteed that Trevor Lawrence will be a Jet, and I did not fall in love with him. I did not watch his highlights. I even avoided watching him play live on Saturdays because I did not want to watch him and be obsessive of the fact of him being our new franchise quarterback. That does not mean I didn't want Trevor Lawrence. Trust me, guys. I definitely prefer the Jets to lose so we can get Trevor Lawrence because I understand how generational he is. But I knew that there was something that was going to happen like this. I knew Sam Darnold and this Jets team. I know the players very well enough that they're going to have a game where they're going to shock a lot of people and come out with the victory. And here we are today. And they defeated a Rams team who was playing for a division title. So, man, it's crazy. So, Jack, what's your really take on this game and what's your reaction?
It just made me hate this team even more, man. For obviously you guys know I don't hate the team, but for them putting me in a position to dislike the fact that they won a game, like I'm just like they just put us through the ringer every year, man. It's just an emotional roller coaster every time the game rolls around on Sundays, and I was shocked. I was completely shocked. Even when we were up 2 scores in the first half, I was thinking, okay, no way we're gonna win this game. No, it's Sean McVay. We're on the West Coast. The Rams are at home. Aaron Donald's out there. I was bewildered the whole time. I thought Sean McVay was gonna have his guys come out the second half, and it was going to look like a new team. I thought we were going to get blown out the second half. I thought we were going to remain on the road to Trevor Lawrence, and here we are, man. So, we'll talk about it further and further, but now we're in a crazy position where what do we do with this second pick? And, a couple positive things happened yesterday, but I just hate the team for making me angry about a win. A part of me is hyped that we're not going to be, we're not going to be the third team to ever go 0-16 because we would have been the worst team of all time. But, it really depends on what I see at the moment is how I feel. I scroll past when I'm on Twitter, I'll scroll past a tweet of Mekhi Becton tweeting Victory Monday. I'm like, all right, that's dope. Like, he's such a beast. Like, a part of me doesn't even realize the kid hasn't won a game in the NFL. It makes me feel terrible, when you think about stuff like that. But then I'll scroll past, somebody else's tweet about Trevor Lawrence, and I'm like, it's just like, so who the hell knows how to feel right now? However you feel about this is fine. Everybody's entitled to feel the way they want to feel. It's just crazy, man. Here we go again, just more Jets drama. And the offseason can't get here sooner enough, man. I just want to know. I want to know what the record is going to be after 16 games played. I want to know where we stand in the draft. I just can't believe it, man. Cannot believe it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jack. We are all entitled to our own way of thinking with this whole situation because there's a lot of Jets fans that do not align in their views with this. There's some people that are actually commenting on Jets players, cursing them out, saying that they had no right to win that game. Why are you winning? There's people commenting on Mekhi Becton's mother's Twitter account saying, no, we have to lose. No, we have to lose when she's rooting for her own son in the NFL. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I understand. Like, yes, me personally, I'd rather the Jets lose yesterday. When I was watching the game, I definitely did. But you should not go under a Mekhi Becton's mother's Twitter and expect her to root against her son. And you also can't expect Mekhi Becton and all these players playing for their jobs, coaches fighting for their jobs, go out there and lose on purpose. It's just not the reality of football. We just have to be hoping that we lose because we're bad. And obviously yesterday we showed that we do have a lot of guys. We have heart on this team. No, we're not a good football team. I'm not saying that all of a sudden we're a good football team. I'm not going to do the same thing as we did last year where we finished 6-2 and we thought that, we'll carry that into the next season. That's not what I'm saying. But they showed heart. There's guys that showed up yesterday that looked like they really, really wanted to win that game. And that's what you want. You want players that want to win and do anything that they can possibly to win a ball game. And obviously the circumstances did not align with the Jets, and we potentially missed out on one of the best draft prospects in the entire who knows. But that goes into what we have, which is the Jets have the second pick in the draft. So this is a very interesting conversation because a lot of Jets fans were hoping we get that first pick so we can draft Trevor Lawrence. Now we are officially slated at the second pick in the NFL draft as of today. It could very easily change,
It's
but
so
it's not
typical
likely.
Jets.
It is typical Jets, so we have to go through a season like this and not get the first pick. But here we are, and it's going to be a very, very interesting offseason. And Joe Douglas has really big-time decisions ahead of him. So I'm going to swing it to you, Jack. What do you think the Jets should do with that second pick? The options are, obviously, you either draft a quarterback like a Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, or you stay at 2, you don't draft the quarterback, you draft the crazy offensive tackle from Oregon, or you trade the second pick and move back in the draft and acquire assets. So that's a really insane decision that Joe Douglas has. So what's your gut telling you that you think Joe Douglas is going to do, and what would you do?
I think my gut, what I would do and what Joe Douglas would do is honestly the same thing. I think he's going to use that second pick, trade it back for more capital. I feel like that's the kind of guy he is. Like, he wants to get his hands all over this team. He wants to bring in as many guys as he can and offset the years of Mike McCagnon just like doing nothing for this team and just like not doing anything to build the roster for the future. So I think he's going to look to acquire as much draft capital as he can, honestly. And you know what? That's what I would do. I feel like, obviously no one's going to deny that Sam Darnold has played very poorly this year, but we also have to remember, and we've said it the whole time, like, what does Sam have to work with? He has the worst coaching staff I have ever seen in my life. My father, who's 30 years older than me, has ever seen in his life. It's pathetic. It's no way to groom a young guy. So if Joe Douglas can have, I hope Joe Douglas has the only say. I mean, it's obviously going to come down to who the Johnsons are going to hire, but Joe Douglas needs to have like a big role in this next head coaching hire. And if he gets his head coach, and if he gets more draft capital, like I think he will, then I do think that we're going to see Sam Darnold play well next year if that's the case. But I think that's the case, that we're going to keep Sam and trade the pick back and acquire more capital, and Joe Douglas is just going to get his hands all over this team.
That's a very interesting take. Very interesting. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button. We have around 94 people with 22 likes. If you guys are enjoying Monday Night Sports Talk, please make sure you smash that like button as we switch it to Ali. And Ali, what do you think the Jets should do with this second pick?
Before I say that, there's no Jets that have made the Pro Bowl. Mekhi Becton did not make it. So there's no Pro Bowlers for the Jets this year.
Yeah,
so
what?
Even though he led the votes, he still didn't make the Pro Bowl, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. And that just ruined my night again. So
oh, come on! Do we have something? Wait. Let me just get back on the topic because now I'm seeing it. Mekhi Becton won the fan vote out of all the tackles, which counts for 1/3 of the vote among the AFC tackles, but he was not selected to the Pro Bowl. So I don't know who the other.
How could that even be?
And then Quinnen Williams obviously did not as well.
Is there like an electoral college for Pro Bowl voting? How could the top ranked voted guy like not?
I demand a recount. I demand a recount.
Stop the count. All right. That is pathetic. That is terrible. But whatever. All right, Ali. Let's hear your thoughts of the Jets having a second pick, what they should do with it, and what you think Joe Douglas will do with it.
I mean, it depends which coach comes in, honestly, because if the new coach wants a new quarterback, they're going to get another quarterback. I mean, if they don't want Sam Darnold, I mean, they're going to be like, do you want Sam Darnold next year or not? And if he's going to say yes or no, and if he says no, he's going to be like, okay, well, who do you want to draft at number 2? And, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields are both the options for them at number 2. And I can see them going both ways if they fall in love with one of them. But, it's hard. The way Joe Douglas has handled everything, I feel like he would trade down. The way he's gotten so many draft picks, he's in love with draft picks, and he's trying to build his team the right way. So I think he could find a team that likes Justin Fields or Zach Wilson the most, and just trade the pick away. But I think he's gonna have a lot of offers on the table if the Jets if the Jets somehow just keep the second pick or they go back to one. If they go back to one, it's Trevor Lawrence, obviously. But number two is when it comes a little bit of question mark. Are you going to stay with Sam Darnold, who had a pretty decent game yesterday? He had probably his best game of the season so far, against a pretty good Rams defense. So we got to give him that credit. But it's that consistency we have not seen from Sam Darnold, and that's what's questioning a lot of fans about him, and that's why everyone wants to move on from him. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I think it's going to be either offensive lineman, quarterback, or just the Jets just trading down. I mean, or sticking with Sam Darnold. I physically want Sam Darnold to stay. I really do. If we do not get Trevor Lawrence, because for me it was Trevor Lawrence or Sam Darnold. And I mean, that was my thing. And just build around Sam Darnold. And that's why a trade option down would be better for them to get an offensive lineman, get another wide receiver, just build around him and see how he works with the new system, with the actual head coach. I mean, just try to figure that out. But, it's going to be interesting to see if Adam Gase actually stays or leaves. So, it's tough. It's tough.
It is tough, man. I mean, I feel like me and Ali have the same mindset as well. I went into this thinking like, okay, if we get that first pick, Trevor Lawrence needs to be the option. But me personally, I said this before this even happened. If the Jets win the game and they don't get that first pick, I'm sticking with Sam. I feel like he still has it in him and he's still so young. And I also feel like Joe Douglas has something in him to prove a lot of people wrong. And he has something to prove listen, I came here because Sam Darnold was the quarterback. And he said that Sam Darnold was the reason why he came here. And I feel like Joe Douglas has a job to do to build around this kid. And he kind of feels obligated to, because first of all, he promised his parents. And listen, I know that Sam Darnold did not play good this year, and I'm not defending him one bit. I'm disappointed in how Sam Darnold looked this year. I'm not making any excuses for it. He regressed in almost every single way possible, and I can't really point out the reason. I think I'll try to point out the reason now, actually. I think Sam Darnold, his problem this year, it's simple. It's his mind. It's not his physical traits. He has all the talent in the world you want in your franchise quarterback, but his mind is not where it needs to be. He doesn't have confidence in himself. He doesn't have confidence in his offensive line. He doesn't have confidence in the system. He doesn't have confidence in the team. And if you don't have the confidence, you don't have the mentality, it doesn't matter how talented you are. You're not doing well. That can correlate to anything in life, whether you're a football player or you're a worker anywhere you work. If you don't have confidence, you don't believe in anything, and you don't have the right mindset, and you're not there mentally, you're not going to succeed. And I feel like that's Sam's problem. And I feel like what they need to do is, obviously, this is if we get the second pick. Me personally, I would trade that pick back. I would draft more protection and give him as much playmakers as possible. Let Sam Darnold prove to be the franchise quarterback for the team, because he wants to be that guy. He's still super young. He's only 23 years old, so he still has a lot of time. And we give him a new system. We give him all the tools, because he shows you those glimpses of wowness. I mean, that throw yesterday to Braxton Berrios that got dropped was one of those throws where you're just like, that is the guy that I fell in love with out of college. And that's why I feel like this is potentially our franchise quarterback. But then he has hiccups and he makes some boneheaded decisions. And that's that mentality I'm talking about. That's when he has that split second of a decision where he makes the wrong one and he throws the ball and it looks like it's a terrible throw. That's just because of his decision-making needs to improve. Like I said, man, his coaching staff is just terrible around him. We don't even have a separate quarterback coach in his ear. We have Dowell Loggins being the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. That is not how you develop a quarterback. It is the complete polar opposite of how to do it. Adam Gase admittedly said, I did not develop Sam Darnold properly, and it's my fault. I'm to blame. Adam Gase said it himself. We were always on top of Gase for not holding himself accountable, and he finally did that. Here's your respect, Gase. Congratulations. But he really did ruin Sam. I mean, if you look at Sam Darnold's rookie season, and then you look at his footwork, his confidence, his backyard type of play where he's rolling to his left, rolling to his right, making guys miss, avoiding pressure. And he looks like a guy where you're like, wow, that's a 21-year-old stud that's about to be our franchise guy. And then you look at him this year and you try to put the pieces together. Well, what's wrong? His mind's not there. And I feel like Joe Douglas has a job to do. And I feel like he has a an inner responsibility. He feels guilty where he's like, you know what? I don't want to move on from Sam. Like, I came here to build around this kid, and I'm going to prove Jets fans. I know that 90% of Jets fans are not going to be happy with me keeping Sam because he's not playing well, but I still believe in the kid, and I'm going to give him every single resource and possibility to develop into the franchise quarterback I believe he could become by giving him a crazy wall in front of him, playmakers, and an actual coach. Guys, this Jets team problems goes way beyond the quarterback position, way beyond, from the defensive end to the offensive end to the special teams and to the coaching staff. It's not just the quarterback. Sam Darnold is not the reason why we're 0. Oh, now we're not 0. Not the reason why we're 1-13. So that's really my take on it. And I understand that Jets fans are over Sam, and I understand that they think he sucks because he played pretty poorly. And you guys have every right to think that. And if you guys disagree with everything I'm saying, again, you guys are entitled to your own opinion. We are all okay to be having different perspectives. If you guys rather go the Justin Fields route, that's your opinion. I just personally don't think Joe Douglas is going to do that. And the only way I was moving on from Sam is if we get that first pick and we get the generational quarterback of Trevor Lawrence, because that is someone you cannot pass on. To be honest, Justin Fields and Zach Wilson and these guys, they look like good prospects, but they don't look like somebody that I would want to reboot the franchise for. They really don't. That's my take. And again, if you guys want to disagree with me, you guys have every single right to do so. Jack, do you want to?
Yeah, let me just add to that real quick.
Yeah.
I just feel like, with Sam, it boils down to one word for me, and that word is continuity. This next head coaching hire is going to be crucial for this franchise. This is going to determine how we are for the next 10 years, this next head coaching hire. Because if we are sticking with Sam, then it'll be Sam's third system in his fourth year with the team. And, that's just what busts are made of right there, So we got to get the next hire right. But it comes down to continuity, man, whether it's in the receiving core or on the offensive line, or obviously with the coaching staffs, like I just mentioned. Look at somebody like Josh Allen, who's now
the definition of continuity is what his system is.
MVP candidate who's just been groomed properly with the same coach and the same staff and a majority of the same players. And then year 3, you go out and get a guy like Stephon Diggs. They're just doing it right in Buffalo, and I hate it. I hate it. But that's what it comes down to for a guy like Sam, man. It's continuity. He's had none of it since he got into the league. He was correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was the youngest quarterback to ever start, right?
Correct.
So, you're just throwing him to the wolves, man. He's had no opportunity to really progress. And he did progress from where he was year 1 in year 2. Obviously, this year has been totally unprecedented and nobody expected this. But it just comes down to a total lack of continuity with Sam, man. I wish more people can understand that. And yes, I've been saying that I would rather have Trevor Lawrence than Sam, and I still would, because Trevor Lawrence is apparently that guy that's going to change your team around. So obviously we'd rather have that because we need it as Jets fans. But it comes down to Sam just being totally abandoned by this organization. And, regardless of what happens to him, if he's our quarterback next year, if he's not our quarterback next year, I think he fully has a chance to have a successful career in the NFL. After 1 year of bad football, you can't write off a 23-year-old quarterback. You just cannot. So I have faith in Sam that he'll have a successful career somewhere, whether it's for the Jets or wherever he goes. But yeah, continuity. We have none of it. The Bills have all of it. Life sucks. Yeah, that's it for now.
No, yeah, man. It's a really unprecedented situation for the Jets right now, and we're living on a high, and all these Jets fans were hyped up for Lawrence, and now we're back to reality, thinking that we might not get him, and it sucks. And we're trying to spin this into a positive in the realistic way possible, but it's hard to. We're trying to give you guys our realistic situations, and we know that there's a lot of people watching this that disagrees with what we're saying, and that is totally okay. So, Ali, you want to piggyback on what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I understand. I feel like the way the team's trying to go, I think they want to move on from Sam Darnold. I think that's what, I personally want to keep Sam Darnold if we do not get Trevor Lawrence. But the way this team is heading and the way you're going to get a new head coach and all that stuff, You got to get a new quarterback, and just start fresh with that guy, and try to do it the right way. Get Joe Douglas's guy. I mean, he did not draft Sam Darnold, so he wants to get a guy that he personally groomed himself. He drafted himself, so he can work on him, and that responsibility. Mike McKennan's responsibility was to groom Sam Darnold, which he did completely wrong. But now it's Joe Douglas's time to groom another quarterback, and if he likes a quarterback, he should go after it. I mean, he's good at draft picks. He knows how to analyze draft picks. He's had a good history. I mean, this year's draft class looked pretty good. And if they go the quarterback way and get Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with it at all. But both those guys, they need to know that they need a lot of learning experience. Those type of guys. Trevor Lawrence could be ready week 1, but Justin Fields and Zach Wilson are going to take time to get grooved in. Because I don't know. People have put Zach Wilson above Justin Fields. A lot of people have put Justin Fields up there. It's all over the place right now. And it's a clear number one who Trevor Lawrence. It's Trevor Lawrence, clear number one. There's Justin Fields not coming close to that. And after his complete awful game last week, Justin Fields, he's not even close. So it's just up to the new coaching staff, man. I mean, we got to be consistent, like Jack said. We got to be consistent. We got to build around the guy that you think could be the one. I mean, could be the guy that changed the 5-10 years of this franchise. And, you got to do it right this time. And I trust Joe Douglas to do that. We've said it multiple times that all three of us love Joe Douglas and trust him. And I think he needs to build it the right way. And if he makes a call of getting one of these guys, we'll see. We'll see how it works. But, I think Sam Darnold is more of like the safe way in a way. I don't know. But I think the Jets fans need a fresh of air, and I think they want a new quarterback right now because I love Sam Darnold, but everyone's just frustrated with him. Everyone's like, "Oh, bro, why are you making the same mistakes? Why are you getting worse every game?" And then you have like this amazing game one game, and the next game you just suck. And that's what usually happens with Sam Darnold. And I think that Jets fans are just over it. They're just like, just get it away. Try to get a new guy in, a rookie head coach in, and just see what happens and see if that can work for us. Because, that's what the only thing the Jets can have is hope. So, that's hopefully they make the right decision, but I doubt it. And we're going to suffer again. So we'll see.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It really is tough. Sam Darnold wants to be the guy. He said himself that he really wants to be the franchise quarterback, and he is not set on moving on. But that decision is not up to him, like he mentioned. And I also feel like Joe Douglas, when we do fire Gase on Black Monday, when he is going in there and interviewing coaches, I think he's going to lay down his vision, and he's not going to hire someone that doesn't have the right vision as him. He's either going to make the decision before they go into the coaching hiring. Is he keeping Darnold or are they moving on? That's the big first decision. If Joe Douglas, either way, if he's keeping Sam or if he's moving on from Sam, either way, whatever side he's on, that's going to be part of the interview process. He's not going to hire someone that does not have the same vision as him. So that's what I feel like is going to happen. We're definitely not as much of an attractive situation from the coaching scenario. We were going to be probably the number one team that was most attractive because of Trevor Lawrence, but now that's not the case. But I don't know, man. I just feel like Sam still has it in him. I really, really do. But we'll see. We got our first donation from Alex of the stream. Thank you so much, my man. Why don't we just slide a little money into Lawrence's pocket and have him say he doesn't want to play for Jacksonville? Anyways, pain. Yeah, man, Alex, I wish it was that easy. I think a lot of Jets fans would start a GoFundMe account to give to Trevor Lawrence for him to do that. It would have been great for Lawrence to be a Jet, but at the same time, the Jets still have a chance for the first pick because they do, and they do. Alex, again, thank you for the donation, my man. Appreciate it. So this is interesting. The Jacksonville Jaguars are versing the Chicago Bears next week. Gardner Minshew is playing for his job. He's playing for a contract. Doug Marrone is playing for his job. So they are trying to win hard. You never know. Who thought the Jets were going to beat the Rams? Anybody? Nope. Could the Jaguars beat the Bears and then the Jets lose 2 straight and all of a sudden we're back at that first pick and we get Trevor Lawrence? That's very possible. So, Ali, what's your take on that? Do you think there's any sliver of hope for Jets fans that really need Trevor Lawrence in their lives?
I would literally buy a Minshew shirt if he wins a game. I mean, I will if the Jets somehow get the first pick, and it's because the only reason they're gonna win is to get that first pick and win the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes is if Minshew leads them to victory. And I think it's really possible. Honestly, I think there's still a chance. I mean, people have written it off, but I think they still really have a chance. I mean, like Chicago is a team that you could beat. I mean, they're always hot. But it's Mitch Trubisky. I mean, he's awful. I mean, he gets bad whenever he wants to, and week 16 could be the week where he gets awful again. And I think, like you said, Jaguars they want to win. A lot of games this year, they went down to the wire in a lot of games and just lost by a couple points. And that's what happens. And they just need one big play and they win the game. And, it's going to be interesting to see because I think they can beat week 17, the Colts too. And that's why, because they might rest their starters. They might rest a couple people because they will clinch something. So there's a chance that they rest some guys and they just win a meaningless game. So Jets have a chance because I don't think they're going to beat Cleveland next week. I Patriots possibly, who knows? But, I hope Jaguars win. I would be rooting for them at 1:00. Just watch both games on both screens, just trying to see if they can pull that upset off because the Jets have a really good chance of still getting that first pick. I mean, the overreaction was nuts yesterday. The overreaction was insane. I mean, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. It was absolutely crazy. And people reacting like that is making the entire NFL laugh at us. Literally, that's what's happening because people are coming and seeing these guys commenting on Rams and all that stuff, and they're like, "Oh, Jets fans are delusional. They were so desperate for a tank." I mean, that's not what the players are thinking. A tank. I mean, that's not what they're. I mean, Adam Gase is also fighting for his job, right? That's what he's doing too. So that also pays into this. So I think the Jets have a really good chance. Still for the first pick, it's slim. Because Jacksonville, all they need to do is lose, but also the Jets, all they have to do is lose as well. I mean, going 0-16 is very, very hard. It's very, very hard to do. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully Jaguars get one more win. If next week they do, it'll be a Christmas. I don't even celebrate Christmas, but that will be my Christmas present. But hopefully that happens.
Yeah, man, we'll see. Jack, do you have any hope that the Jaguars pull it off and the Jets get back to that first pick?
I mean, yeah, there's always a chance, but I just feel like the most typical Jets thing that could have happened yesterday. So, I don't know. My gut feeling tells me no, but who knows, man? Who knows? Anything could happen. I mean, Ali really said it all. I don't really have anything more to add.
Yeah. Alex with another donation. I hate Gase with a passion. I think we all do, my man. We are over him. Completely over him. But, yeah, I think there is a chance that the Jets can still get that first pick. But I tweeted this out. I said, hey, what if the Jets low-key dodged an even more heartbreak if we were 0-15 and then we went to New England, all we had to do is lose that game and the first pick is ours and we ended up winning? That would have felt way worse than what we're experiencing now. So maybe we dodged a bullet and we had to get it out of the way because that would have been worse. But listen, man, it's tough to be a Jets fan. We've been through a lot and we felt like we were going to be all of a sudden that we were going to get Trevor Lawrence and we're going to be on top of the world and all this stuff. But it's okay. Let's move on from that topic and let's talk about yesterday's performance because we won a game, right? If you guys don't want to hear us talk about the Jets and what went well yesterday, and you just want to hear us be upset about Trevor Lawrence, then this isn't the stream for you. We're going to talk about some positive things because the New York Jets won a game yesterday. So who played the biggest role in yesterday's win? That's the question now. I think the biggest players, when it's either the players or the team, I think the defense held their ground and the offense held their ground. I feel like the entire team, this is a team win. Sam Darnold, I'll start off with him. He did not go out there and play out of his mind. He did not have statistically an insane game. He was very conservative with his throws. He barely threw the ball downfield. But what Sam Darnold did is everything he needed to do to win a ball game. He was very confident. He was poised. He was comfortable. He was moving around the pocket. He was running when necessary. He had 0 mistakes. He had no turnovers. That's a winning quarterback right there. Well, he's obviously not a winning quarterback this year, but he played like one yesterday. That last drive, all he had to do was get a first down. He checked it down to Frank Gore so he can get the first down. It just looked like a guy that really wanted a winning game, and Sam Darnold definitely was the reason, one of the reasons for sure. Before I get your takes, we got another donation from Apex. Richie, I'm a Bills fan and watch you weekly on the AFC East Roundtable. I was gutted for you when I saw the final score. You deserve better. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Always appreciate the Bills fans, Dolphins, and Patriots fans joining in the stream from the AFC East Roundtable. It means a lot. But Apex, I appreciate you sending in my condolences, and you were gutted for me. That means a lot. But, yeah, I feel like the defense held their ground, and Marcus May is the best safety on the team, obviously, but he is one of the best safeties in the NFL. He had a game-saving play, which was phenomenal. Quinnen Williams on his birthday looked like a beast until he went down. Bryce Hall had his first pick. Mekhi Becton was holding down the generational talent, Aaron Donald. Chris Herndon all of a sudden became relevant. So, Jack, what do you think was the biggest reason we won this game yesterday? Was it the coaches? Was it what was it that really won this game? And before I let you go, talk about it, we got another donation from Finn's Doc. Speak for yourself, Apex. I'm glad Lawrence is out of the AFC East. Yeah, we got a lot of people in the AFC East that are happy that the Jets won because they don't want to deal with Lawrence. Thank you for the donation, Finns.
That's tough. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Sam Darnold, and I'm going to give it to the offensive line. I keep replaying that play when the Frank Gore touchdown when Mekhi Becton just bullied Aaron Donald. I was like, did I just see that? Like, that's Aaron Donald. That's like the best player in the NFL. That's the guy. That's Aaron Donald. And so I was loving to see that. But I was also, throughout the game, I was expecting to see Sam get tossed all over the place, and it just never happened. So that was shocking. I don't know whether the Rams defense just had a totally off day, or we were just on, man. We were just hungry for a win. I think that was more what it was, because the line was playing well, and then Sam Darnold, like you said, Rich, he didn't have a crazy lighted up kind of day where the stat line is going to blow your mind. He didn't throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, but he managed the game, like you said. He didn't make a mistake, and that's what you got to do to get wins in this league. You just can't afford to make mistakes if your offense is not good enough to come back and score again on the next drive. So he didn't make a mistake yesterday. So I think we got to give credit where credit is due, playing against a very, very, very good Rams defense. So yeah, I'm giving it to Sam, and I'm giving it to the big boys up front.
The big boys up front. I think we dominated the line of scrimmage. We got another donation from Alex. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. People were saying Belichick told McVay to lose to the Jets if they let Rams win, so that wouldn't have to play Trevor. Any truth, you think? No, I think that's just speculation, rumors, to be honest. I don't think there's any truth to that, but that definitely is an interesting theory there. But yeah, Jack, I couldn't agree more with you. I think that the Jets won the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and that is the formula that Joe Douglas wants to do with his team. He wants to win in the trenches, and we did on both sides. We stopped the run. We got to Jared Goff to an extent, and we ran the ball pretty well with Ty Johnson and Frank Gore, and they protected Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold got sacked only twice. Mekhi Becton and George Fant both had 0 pressures, but the interior offensive line are the ones that got eaten up. So positive things coming out of Jets land yesterday. So, Ali, what's your take, and who do you think played the biggest role in yesterday's win?
I think it was just a team win. I think they didn't want a mental collapse like they did against the Raiders. They didn't want to have that happen again, especially the veteran guy, like Frank Gore. I mean, he's a guy who might be done after this year, and he probably doesn't want a 0-16 season to end his career. I mean, his Hall of Fame career. So, I mean, people have to understand the Jets and the people in the locker room don't want to lose. That's not their goal. At least the players' goals are not to lose every game. I mean, that's sickening for Sam Darnold. All the guys are actually trying to be good. I mean, Sam Darnold tried to rush through injuries to come back on the field. and try to win games. And, it just hasn't come up that way. I mean, Chris Herndon woke up this past week. I mean, he started catching the ball. I mean, everything was working for the Jets. I mean, there's field goals going in. There is everything going for them. I mean, it was nuts. And I think the defense
yesterday.
Huh?
We made kicks yesterday.
We made kicks. I mean, it's surreal. I mean, we made field goals finally. And the defense played out of their minds. I was surprised. They looked fast. I mean, they were getting to Jared Goff. They were pressuring Jared Goff the entire game. Frank Bush did pretty well as taking over Greg Williams' defense. Seeing Bryce Hall get that interception makes that pick even more like, yes, how did he drop so far? I mean, when I saw that pick, that was a good ass pick. I mean, he reached out and I was like, oh, okay. I thought he was gonna drop it, but he made a nice snag.
Snagged it.
I mean, that's what we wanted. That's why we drafted him. We took a risk and it worked out for the Jets. I mean, he's gonna be the next cornerback for the Jets for years. He's gonna be there for years. I truly believe that. And, hopefully Bless Austin will not be here next year because he absolutely just looks terrible out there. But other way, the entire defense looked good. I mean, Braden Mann even made the best tackle to win the game, literally. If he didn't make that tackle, we would have lost that game. So Braden Mann pretty much was like, yes, we're winning this game today. But offensive side, Sam Darnold played decently well. He made good decisions at least. Ty Johnson had that one touchdown drive. They kept dumping it off the entire time for like 6 targets, and he got a touchdown there, which was pretty cool. They were just doing the same play over and over, and it worked. So that helps. They just had consistent drives. They did whatever they had to do. They did turnovers. They were all over the Rams, and I just don't know what the Rams were thinking this week. Did they overthink about this game? Did they just not prepare correctly? Did they just take a day off? Did they just tank? I mean, I don't know because they look like awful. But at least we'll give some Jets some credit that maybe they played their hearts out. I'm happy for the players. Like, I'm happy that they finally got a win and they're not a part of the 0-16 season. But it sucks for Jets fans, obviously. But it was a good game to watch at least. So
it was. We get another donation from Sheikh Money. Sewell and Becton would be a scary line. So, yes, I'm on that train, and I'm definitely believe that Joe Douglas is also on that train. Can we imagine if we draft Sewell and we have Mackay at left tackle and Sewell at right tackle? We do not have to touch the tackle position for a decade. All we need to do is put all of our investments in the interior offensive line and beef it up, and all of a sudden, we have one of the best offensive lines in the league. That's how good Mekhi Becton's playing, and that's how good Sewell is supposed to be. He's supposed to be one of the best tackles to come out in a long time, and he's definitely the best tackle in the draft. It's not like last year where there's 4 guys and you can toss them up. We don't know who's the best. Luckily, we got the best. But this does get me excited. I understand that people want to move on from Sam, but I feel like genuinely that the Jets would be smart to let Sam ride out another year with the new coach and a brand new protection and system in place to unlock him, because I feel like Adam Gase's system, man, just doesn't fit well with him. It just doesn't fit well with Sam Darnold. He's a guy that needs to be explored out of the pocket. He's a guy that needs to take shots down the field. That feels like every single play is an out route, 5-yard in, a check down, and that's the calls that are being played. The calls that are being called, whatever. But Adam Gase does not let Sam Darnold do anything. It just feels like he's in prison. And no, I'm not saying Darnold played any good football this year. I'm not taking that. I'm not saying that. And no, Sam Darnold did not have a phenomenal game yesterday. Like I mentioned earlier, he only had 200 yards and 1 touchdown. When you look at those numbers, you're not like, that's a good quarterback. That's just a guy that ended up winning a game because our running game was working and our defense did their job. That's a team quarterback, and that's what you want from your quarterback, is to limit his mistakes. But honestly, Becton and Sewell does make me feel like that would be fun to watch, because we're going to have a dominant run game behind those two. We're going to have a very easy pass protection, and that does get me excited. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Is it Becton and Sewell? Like, what do you
It
guys?
could be, man. I mean, it could be. It's Joe Douglas has made it clear that you win on the line of scrimmage, and that the most important positions are obviously the quarterback and then your offensive and defensive line. So there's a good chance, man. There's a very good chance that we take that kid with the second pick. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen though? We have 2 games left. We're all hopeful that we'll end up with the first pick. I don't think it's gonna happen, but who knows, man? I don't think it's too far out of Joe Douglas's reach to draft Sewell at 2 overall. If he's gonna be as good as everybody says he is. I gotta watch some tape on him. I haven't seen anything about the kid, honestly, but yeah, why not? There's a chance. And then
I know,
all of a
man.
sudden that's an offensive line with some dogs on it, you know?
We also got to give credit to George Fant. I feel like he's developed into a solid right tackle. He had no pressures yesterday, and he's holding his own at the right spot. So, but I don't think George Fant's the answer long term, and Joe Douglas wants to bring in long term answers on that offensive line. And honestly, like the more I think about it, how many players can we name off the top of our head that are playing extremely well after they leave Adam Gase? Ryan Tannehill, the obvious, Kenyon Drake, Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker. All these players were not looked at as stars in Miami with Adam Gase. All of a sudden he leaves. Gesicki becomes one of the best upcoming tight ends. Oh, why? Why wasn't he like that under Gase? Because Gase doesn't know how to utilize tight ends. Hence,
And then
Chris Herndon.
And then
What
you
are you
have
saying?
the opposite end of the spectrum where it's like, look what happened to Le'Veon under Adam Gase. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the people that leave Adam Gase flourish, and the people that become a part of the Adam Gase, you know, I don't know what to call it. It seems like he's like the godfather over there, and nobody can touch the guy or say a bad thing about him, you know. But you know, people that come under Adam Gase just start to just play poorly in every facet of the game. And like, who is Le'Veon Bell now? He's a scrub, you know. Even on the
He's
Chiefs,
a starting running back. He's a starting running back.
Yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like
He had a good game yesterday, Le'Veon.
the fall off was there. The fall off was there for sure. So it's just the Adam Gase curse, man. It's crazy. I cannot believe this guy got a second chance at being a head coach in this
It comes down to that, guys. I mean, blame Gase for, first of all, ruining our own quarterback and now giving us a little false hope of glimpse of getting this generational quarterback to just ruin it by winning a game. So Adam Gase is the reason why I think Jets fans are so toxic and upset with the organization. And we should be upset with the organization because they're the ones that hired him. We should be upset at Peyton Manning. I mean, it just comes down to that. Adam Gase is the guy that you would want to join a franchise to ruin. We were already ruined before we got here, and that's what makes it so much worse. It's not like we were on the rise and like, all right, we're a coach away from turning this around. We're like, no, we are not where we need to be. We have a young quarterback after his rookie season. We need to bring in an offensive mind to help develop our quarterback. And we brought in an offensive mind who completely destroyed our young quarterback. Like, are you kidding me? They did everything they did wrong to develop Sam, and Adam Gase openly admitted it. So if that doesn't tell you that, is Sam Darnold's career salvageable for the Jets? The only way is they utilize every single asset in free agency and the draft into that offense, into playmakers, into that O-line, and they get the right coach. Listen, guys, with or without Trevor Lawrence, I think the biggest deal with this Jets team is that next head coach. Because without a good head coach, we're not doing anything. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. It doesn't matter who's on the team. Without a head coach coaching up the guys and galvanizing the people in the locker room, we're not doing anything. So that's probably the biggest anxiety for me is who are the Jets going to hire? Who's Joe Douglas going to bring in? Is Adam Gase going to get fired? Because we still don't even know if that's guaranteed, which it will be because I'm not even bringing that into fruition. But it's just so much that we could talk about because Jets fans are all over Twitter freaking out over this. But it's just ridiculous. I guess we got to still – because listen, this I don't even know what to talk about because there's so much to think about. But Denzel Mims, for example, where was he yesterday? Why is he not involved in the game plan? Like, I don't understand. I just know for a fact the moment Denzel Mims gets away from Adam Gase, he explodes. Devontae Parker. What was Devontae Parker under Gase at the Dolphins? People were calling him a bust. He was a first-round pick, and nobody liked Parker outside of Finns fans. They're like, he was a waste of a pick. And now Devontae Parker, when he's on the field, plays lights-out football. That's going to be Denzel Mims. That's going to be Chris Herndon. That's going to be Sam Darnold. That's going to be the Jets. And that's my prediction. Is that 100% guaranteed what I'm saying? Absolutely not. But I feel like the Gase curse is going to hit the Jets, and all of a sudden it's going to flip the script. So what's your guys' take on that? Jack?
On if the Gase curse is really going to...
Like, do you think that our players like Denzel and a Herndon, they're going to be better without him?
It's all speculation, but based on all the evidence you've seen throughout the past 14 games, you'd have to say, yeah. I mean, I think if you were the head coach, they'd probably do better than under Adam Gase, you know? It seems like he's just done everything in his power to, like, make sure this offense is, like, as least dynamic and exciting and unpredictable as could be. You know, me and you watch the games every week together and predict the plays that are going to happen. You know, like we can tell you, okay, it's a little out route. All right, it's up the middle to Gore. You know, like we know what's about to happen. So you got to say, based on the evidence, and like I said before, it's all speculation because we don't know what's going to happen next year. But based on all the evidence you've seen so far this season and pretty much most of last season, you know, you'd have to think that with an actual competent mind, offensive mind, that these guys would do better for sure.
I sure hope so. Ali, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen enough glimpse from Pirine, Denzel Mims, Brashad Perriman to show you that if they get to targets, they will make plays. I mean, when Denzel Mims gets the ball, he can go off field real quick. I mean, he can make from a 5-yard catch into a 15-yard run, pretty much a 15-yard play. And, you know, we've seen that all season when Denzel Mims on the field. We've seen LaMichael Pirine on the field, who should make it back on the field this week. But Frank Gore will still get the 20 carries because Adam Gase is a coach. So, I mean, it's just that simple. We need to just get away from him because the young guys need the reps, and the young guys who can make a difference in a win-loss are not getting the ball. I mean, Denzel Mims could change the game. Michael Pirine could change the game for the Jets, personally. That's what I believe. So I think, you know, nothing's going to change until Adam Gase is gone. That's our first issue. I mean, quarterback issue is not as the big issue right now. Head coaching is the biggest issue. That's the issue that the Jets need to address first and move on from that. And then we can look at what draft pick we have right now, because that's the most important thing for us, is to just get everyone out that is coaching, because they're not doing a great job.
Get them all out. Fire every single coach possible. Shake Money sends in another donation. After Adam Gase left Denver for Chicago, Denver won a Super Bowl. Also, shout out to my man TD, loving the Gase hate. Man, I cannot take TD because he would not shut up about Adam Gase staying as the Jets head coach, and that is terrifying. I don't want to think about that. Shout out to Finsanity in the chat. I see you. Welcome in. Hope you're enjoying. But yeah, it's just I cannot think of another time in my life as a fan of a sports team to see fans so divided. We're so divided. We all have different perspectives. We all want something different. We all are toxic because we lose. When you're losing, it leads to toxic fandom. And here we are rooting for the Jets to lose and they winning. And we're blaming the players and the coaches. Why are you winning? We need to lose for the player, for the first pick. Again, you cannot expect these guys to go out there and lose. It's their job. They're playing for contracts. They're playing for money. They're playing for a lot more than you guys would ever think. And we as fans have no right to say you are wrong for going out there and trying to win a ball game. They get paid to do one thing, and that's win football games, no matter the circumstances. I am happy for the players. I am happy to see Marcus May smile and see Quinnen and Mekhi Becton be amped up for his first win of his NFL career. I am amped up for them, but I'm also sympathetic for Jets fans, including myself, for missing out on a generational talent. I'm on both sides of the spectrum. I understand. I see everything. I understand the people that think that Sam Darnold is not the guy and we need to move on from him. If you have that perspective, which there are a lot of you guys, I don't think you're wrong. It's just like we all don't know. There's no facts yet. The facts that we have seen so far is that Sam Darnold showing a lot of potential his rookie season. He improved his second year in every single category you can imagine. And then his third year, he completely regressed. That's the facts. But after you evaluate that and you can accustom like, okay, now let's actually build around this kid. Then we'll see what we want. That's how I feel about it. And to be honest with you guys, watching that stream, like watching the game live yesterday on the stream with like thousands of you guys watching me was pretty surreal because I had fans all across the NFL rooting for the Jets. It was crazy. Everybody was rooting for the Jets. And then there's like 10% Jets fans in my stream rooting for the Rams because they obviously wanted Lawrence. It was just crazy. We had Seahawks fans in here. We had all the AFC East people were in there rooting for the Jets because they didn't want Lawrence in the division. And we had Jaguars fans in the stream. And I'm like, why can't I be happy about the Jets winning? Like, I'm watching my New York Jets in victory formation, Sam Darnold being hyped up about a win, and I can't be happy about it, man.
It's crazy.
What world are we living in, and why do the Jacksonville Jaguars get to celebrate and we don't? It's not over yet. Gardner Minshew is about to shock the world and defeat the Chicago Bears next week, and the Jets will lose 2 in a row. You guys know where I stand. If the Jets get the first pick, Trevor Lawrence is the answer. If they do not get the first pick, I would stick to the guy, Sam, that we have already in the building and build around him. So that we're coming on the end of the roundtable. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, if you guys are not already, we go live every single Monday night. Me, Jack, and Ali will be going live and bringing you guys all the latest news about the Jets. I'll be going live tomorrow here on my channel for the AFC East roundtable, so stay tuned for that. And that really does it for this episode of Monday Night Sports Talk. Do you guys want to finish it off and give your any final thoughts of the Jets getting the second pick or whatever? Because it's a hot topic. Ali, starting with you.
Oh, man. It's going to play out. I mean, don't fall in love with any prospect. I mean, don't fall in love with any guy because you don't know what the Jets are going to do. I mean, we still got 2 games to go. The Jets honestly could still get the third pick. It's not realistic, but they still can. If Bengals win tonight, then they lock up for the first or second. But they still have a chance of going third, which is idiotic and stupid. But it's just how it is, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets screw it up that way too. So, I hope that we find the guy. Joe Douglas is going to have a lot of difficult decisions this offseason. Very difficult decisions. Difficult decisions meaning if we're going to look at Joe Douglas' GMing, everyone's going to look at this year, 2021 offseason, and see how he did. Because there's a lot of decisions. You have cap space, you have draft picks, and you got to decide if Sam Darnold is going to stay. And it's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, it's gonna be a hectic offseason. I made a post last week about trying to get more creators. And if there's any creators, Jets creators, just contact me and we'll start doing stuff because we need all the support that we can get. I mean, the Jets community needs to grow. We're still going to put content out. There was a guy that was yesterday on my post, the final score, saying that I'm going to unfollow all Jets content creators because we have somehow the reason of the Jets win and his sadness. So he just unfollowed us. So we all got to stick together. Yeah, exactly. I know.
It's my fault, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the Jets won yesterday. Ali and I are the reasons for that. All of Ali's Instagram posts and all my YouTube videos are the reason why the Jets are missing out on Trevor Lawrence. Foolish. I apologize. If you guys want to unsubscribe, I don't blame you.
I lost like 50 followers yesterday. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, people were like announcing their departure from my page. I'm like, I don't care, bro. Like, why? Why are you sending me a DM? I'm like, you care? you care too much and DM me that you're departing today, but whatever. But it's if you're a Jets content creator and you need help developing because it's very hard to develop right now with the Jets team status, just DM me or whatever, and we'll try to get something. We'll try to keep something going with you guys and see you next week. Hopefully the Jacksonville Jaguars win, and we're gonna be very happy next week. Watch.
Yeah, man, we got a lot that we can get into, and stay tuned on this channel for more throughout the offseason because we're going to bring a lot of speculations and predictions. And I just want to shout out to any non-Jets fan that tunes into Jets media. Of course, I love Jets Nation. Jets fans, you are always number one no matter what. But I do notice that I have a lot of non-Jets fans watching the stream and all my streams in general. And I want to thank you guys because that means you're coming in and tuning into. You guys are interested to hear what I have to say, what Jack and Ali have to say. And that means a lot. So thank you guys for tuning in, and it means a lot again. So to finish off the stream, Jack, you want to give any last words about any words of wisdom?
Yeah, I mean, what you said in your take a couple minutes ago was all the reasons why I said at the beginning of the live stream that every fan is entitled to feel however they want to feel about this team right now because they've done nothing but just break our hearts this entire year and the majority of our lives. So, if you're mad about the win, be mad about the win. If you're happy about the win, be happy about the win. It's okay. We don't need to become a toxic community of fans. I don't think we are, but we just got to hang in there and ride this out. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Jaguars. Basketball season's right around the corner. Off-season time is right around the corner. So it's not all bad, guys. So let's just hang in there. Let's try to hang on to any little sliver of positivity we can in our collective sports lives. And it's almost off-season season. Off-season season.
It is almost off-season season.
And that's the best time of the year for Jets fans. That's like a 6-month-long Christmas for Jets fans because we don't have to watch them play, and we're hopeful. Like, this is the year we're gonna playoff time. So that's all right around the corner. What a terrible, terrible year it's been. But yeah, thank you as always, guys, for doing this with me and for having me on. And thank you to all the guys tuning into the stream. You guys are the reason why we do this every Monday. So yeah, see you guys next week. And let's go Jaguars and let's go Knicks.
Yeah, thanks again for everybody tuning in. It means a lot. If you guys are not already, make sure you thumbs up the stream if you enjoyed and subscribe for more Jets content. Stay tuned for the AFC East Roundtable here on the channel tomorrow. Again, thank you guys. Let's go Jaguars. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Mets. Let's go Lakers for Ali's sake. Yep. And yeah, that does it for this episode. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out, guys.